Greetings everyone. This is Amber Jourdan, author of Tales from a Witch, A Crossroads, a pagan Christmas carol. I am the co-host of Witches Talking Tarot and writer-co-producer for Octoberpod. People still celebrate Thanksgiving, and for that I hope you have a very blessed, very, very happy holiday. But a lot of people are moving away from celebrating Thanksgiving because it gives them the ick. You know? Feasting, it's completely pagan, and for me, as a pagan witch, I very much enjoy that aspect of the holiday. Ooh-wee. Sometimes, you know you're walking into the viper's den. You know that the questions will never end. When are you gonna have kids? When are you gonna get married? When are you and your boyfriend gonna move in together? When are you gonna break up with that boyfriend of yours? Or girlfriend, I'm just, using the examples, guys. Please include yourself in that example. You know what we're talking about. Happy holidays, everyone. From my heart to yours, may Octoberpod always be there for you, no matter how you spend your holiday. And Ed, I just want to say thank you for everything you do, my friend. If it wasn't for Ed, everybody, there wouldn't be Tales from a Witch, Terrifying Travels and Traditions, because if I wasn't working on Octoberpod, I don't believe I would have ever gotten the courage to publish my works. I hope you and the entire October family have an amazing holiday.
The sound you hear is bumper-to-bumper traffic on I-95 on the most heavily traveled day of the year, the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. This is the start of Octoberpod. Yes, it seems like everyone and their mother has loaded up in the family station wagon, Dodge Caravan, SUV, or extend cab all-wheel drive truck to spend Thanksgiving with distant relatives. And by distant, I mean several hours away, not several times removed. The cars are bumper to bumper. The highway patrol is out in force, and the fender benders have been plentiful. And here I am packed into my little doom buggy like a pickled herring. Good thing I packed a lunch, as well as a Sony Discman loaded up with terrifying tales of torturous trials and tribulations related to Turkey Day traffic. And I'll be back in the intermission with real tales of ruinous Thanksgivings raked up from the rancid recesses of Reddit. Better keep it right here. Lord knows I'm not going anywhere.
Gobble gobble, ghouls and goblins. This is Paige Elmore, creator and host of Reverie True Crime and the Pop Culture Diary. Also, I'm a longtime friend and contributor to Octoberpod, which is one of the things I am super grateful for. I can't believe it's Thanksgiving already. The day we give thanks, think about history, dodge those family arguments, and likely fall into food coma nirvana. If you're honoring Indigenous Peoples Day, National Mourning Day, or just hiding in the kitchen from drama, I hope your day is full of food, quiet judgment, and reflecting on what you are grateful for.
It is the Wednesday before the big turkey day and we're all in the car. Home for the Holidays is playing on the radio and I'm singing along. The kids think it's too early for Christmas music, but I don't care. They tell me I'm being cheesy. And maybe I am. Again, don't care. Tamara and Jamal soon take the hint and join me, improving the song tenfold in my humble opinion. It beats that awful, awkward silence of a journey that's overstayed its welcome and which has started giving everyone the blues. Jamal keeps asking me why we're spending the holiday with my family, the people I've had limited contact with for the last 10 years or something, and why Calvin, their father, isn't coming with us. I tell him I just needed some time with my family, that it's been too long since I've had my Aunt Betty's apple pie and Uncle Jeremy's sugar-cured ham. I want some real home cooking this year. Mashed potatoes that didn't come from a box, cornbread stuffing, and mac and cheese made by somebody who knows what they're doing. I leave the other question, the one about their dad, hanging. I don't know what to tell the kids about their father's absence, so I just rattle on about the food while I drive. After another half an hour of Christmas music on some distant radio station that grows more and more faint with every mile we put behind us, we arrive at the first gas station we've seen in ages. It's barely a gas station. A broken-down wooden shack with 2 puny pumps. That and a bait shop. The bait shop looks like it's worth 10 times what the gas station is. Obviously, they care about their hunting and fishing around here. Obviously. I think we all take an instant dislike to the place, but the sooner we gas up, the sooner we can get on with our Thanksgiving. It is later, and we're in a strange, cold room filled with other women and children. Years have passed, but Tamara is still 17, and her smile is full of wonder, ignorance, and cynicism all at the same time. Tamara is telling a woman named Kaya how we got here, but none of us know what here is. Kaya and her friend Lexi appeared in the cage about an hour ago. Their faces are still covered in shattered glass and confusion, just like the rest of us had been. Tamara, Jamal, and I looked that way when we arrived 2 years ago on the 4th Wednesday in November. Lexi and Kaya hold each other tight, unsure if they've managed to cheat death. Soon, a handler arrives. They dress in red suits that look like hazmat or something. It's an opaque, iridescent material stretched over a humanoid body possessing 2 legs, 2 arms, 1 head, and 0 tails. An icy light pulses through the faceplate of the handler's suit. The handler checks the device it holds, seems to count the humans inside the cage, and then checks the device again before turning away and moving in the direction which it came, as though it had to check on something that's gone missing. I wonder how many times this has happened before. These exact events in this exact order. How many times has a handler come in to check on us and then left because it's forgotten something? How many times have we greeted new visitors who'd been snatched up while on a road trip? Thanksgiving Death Trip, written by Amber Jourdan, from her original story, Thanksgiving on the 105. Adapted especially for Octoberpod by John Iger. Narrated by Chrisi Talyn Saje, creator-star of the audio drama podcast, Madison on the Air. It is the last Wednesday in November, and Jamal bursts out of the back seat to find a bathroom, and I tell Tamara to go with him while I pump gas. But the old-fashioned pumps don't have card readers, so I guess we're all going in. I tell Tamara that I will still need her to take Jamal to the bathroom. He hasn't gone once this whole trip. She's all business and will keep Jamal focused. I could see in her face that Tamara was about to point out that Jamal was 10 years old and not really in need of his teenage sister watching him take a tinkle. We don't know it yet, but we'll soon be thankful Tamara listens to me just this once, out of the blue. The gas station is 1,000,000 times worse on the inside. There's crazy shit on the walls for sale. The kind of trash a Tennessee Chainsaw Massacre family might hang in the living room. There are crosses wrapped in real rusty barbed wire, placed strategically next to a pair of matching brass knuckles. All this paraphernalia is decidedly right-wing. There aren't many people here, but they're all white. In the back of my mind, I wonder if 2 mixed-race kids like Tamara and Jamal are safe in a place like this. Tamara can sometimes pass as white, but Jamal, not so much. Panicked voice in my head says, "You should have gone with them. This is how kids go missing." Then my instinct kicks in. I pick up my pace, fumble for some cash in my purse. I'll rush and pay for the gas, I tell myself. Then I'll pump it and we'll just drive. It is now. And Tamara explains that they, the handlers, usually slide our food through an opening in the wall that appears to be a floor-to-ceiling plate of crystal clear glass. There are 2 glass walls, one wall of iridescent metal and one with a locked door. She tells the 2 new women that another handler will be back shortly. It's best to stay calm and to try to understand them when they come, and to follow what they say. Tamara believes we're in some sort of zoo run by aliens, but I have my doubts. Tamara likes to explain things. Jamal, on the other hand, doesn't. In fact, Jamal doesn't say much at all. Not anymore. He sits quietly all day like he's scared to death. And who can blame him? Lexi and Kyle still look frightened. The handlers took us all from wherever we were before, I say. Sometimes they take us back into their workshop. They check us over, look into our eyes, ears, throats, use strange medical equipment. I don't think they've ever hurt anyone, but their suits are red, so it's hard to tell. They never speak to us, if they're even capable of human speech. They pantomime what they want us to do. And after we get checked out, we get cleaned, and so do our clothes. They clean us, but not in the way you'd think. It's hard to explain. When they do it, the cleansing process, I mean, it's best to keep your eyes shut, or you may throw up the last meal you ate back on Earth. What was the last meal I ate on Earth, I wonder? Was it dinner on Thanksgiving? Tamara follows the signs pointing to the bathroom and takes Jamal down a hallway. The lighting is god-awful, flickering fluorescents that are just weak enough to leave the corners in darkness. Flyers for runaway kids line the walls. Handbills with grainy photographs screaming, "Have you seen this person?" Tamara thinks she recognizes the picture of a boy she met at summer camp once, named Toby. She wants to cry because the picture means something bad's happened to that kid. Even if it's not Toby, even if it's only just a kid who looks like him. She wants to cry, but puts on a brave face for Jamal. There's also a picture of 2 happy ladies, a couple. Their smiles are big and infectious. Tamara tells herself they probably aren't hurt or lost. They're probably just having an adventure. She tells herself all of these things while I'm paying for gas. Tomorrow is Thanksgiving. It is later, and Lexi points to a far corner of the cage. Lexi says she recognizes that boy, that she saw his face on the wall in the gas station, on one of the posters. Tamara tells her that kid's name is Toby. Toby's not a boy, she says. Just say they or them. Now Lexi and Kaya start putting the pieces together. Start to realize that we've all been to the same creepy gas station, that we've all driven down that lonely highway. That's where they were driving on their road trip. Kaya says she recognizes me and my 2 kids as well. We apparently have our own poster on that wall now. Everyone thinks we've been murdered, but we've been here with them. Still, who's to say? Maybe we did die when the truck crashed into us. 2 years have gone by, but don't ask me how I know that. Yet not one of us has aged a day. Maybe the cleaning process keeps us from aging. Jamal convinced himself long ago that we're not alive. We just don't know it yet. Is this what happens before we accept death? Kaya points in the direction of another full-length glass wall and the other rooms visible on the other side of the glass. She asks us who is in those rooms. Nobody human, I say. We know that much. Best not to wonder. Sometimes flashes of light pulse from inside those rooms. Blinding light in shades of electric blue. It is the first Saturday in November, and our turkey dinner plans are a billion miles away. They have, in fact, not yet been made. Calvin, the kid's father, and I have been separated for a while now. He lives in the next town over. The kids were sad at first, but they prefer this arrangement to listening to their parents fighting constantly. Jamal likes his dad's new apartment because his tiny guest room, the room he shares with Tamara when they visit, is his favorite color, blue. Calvin calls me from the ER saying he didn't know who else to call. There's been an accident, he says. He's been shot, he says, and he can't drive. Needs a ride home. I push aside all of the betrayals and resentment for just this once, realizing he needs more than an Uber driver. He needs someone who can help him handle all this. It's no inconvenience. Jamal is at scout camp and Tamara's staying the night with a friend. I think of all the tears and confessions of the last year, and how cold and empty the house is when the kids are away, and of the silence that hurts my ears when I'm sitting there all alone. I think of all those things while I drive. At the ER, I find out that a hole's been blown in Calvin's foot. An accident, he says. I was cleaning my gun and it went off, he says. Calvin's never owned a gun in all the years we've been together. This was no accident. This is a cry for help. Calvin hasn't been himself. He's seemed somehow alien to me for a long time now. Somewhere deep in my soul, I recognize that some essential part of him is missing. It is Wednesday. The holidays are about to begin, and it is the most heavily traveled day of the year. The kids are in the hallway of that awful gas station. I am still paying for the gas. Tamara hurries Jamal past Toby's picture to the end of the hallway. The bathroom doors are on the left, but the kids see the creepiest thing they've ever seen at the end of the hall. A countertop or shelf. The word Tamara's mind is searching for is altar, and it's covered in random weird shit and what looks like a mix of motor oil and blood. All the while, they're being watched by the implacable eyes of the missing. Tamara's heart is pounding, and she pushes Jamal in the boys' room and tells him to hurry. As soon as she hears Jamal flushing, she jabs a hand inside the bathroom door, grabs him by the shirt, and starts hurrying back to the car. The kids round the corner and find their path blocked by some nasty greaseball of a man. Just watching. Waiting. He wipes his hands off with a filthy rag caked in dry mud. Getting abducted or murdered is not how Tamara wants to spend her Thanksgiving. Tamara is a city girl. City girls have to grow up fast, and she tells herself she's encountered scarier men than this. She grips Jamal's shirt tighter and speed walks down the hallway, moving past the greasy man as if she doesn't see him. Tamara uses her shoulder as a shield to protect Jamal as they push through. She does not know what her frightened little brother is thinking. She doesn't want to know. She only knows she has to move, and her pace kicks into overdrive. The kids return to the car half running. I hastily finish pumping the gas, sensing there's something wrong, and rush to start the car again. Tamara's eyes widen in frozen horror when she sees the greaseball walking towards the car, with his eyes fixed on us the whole time. The kids want me to get back on the interstate, where we'll see other drivers, go through towns. I assure them this road is the fastest way to Grandma's house on our little homecoming trip. While we're talking, Tamara sees, though I don't, that the greaseball has gotten into a rusty pickup truck. He revs the sputtering engine and aims it at our car, kicking up a fountain of dirt and gravel behind him. Then the truck plows into us. And to me, the impact has come out of the blue. Gravity has no meaning. Time and self have no meaning as the car rolls, tossing us about inside it. Glass shatters and teeth crack. There's an odd taste in my mouth. Light from an unknown source bathes us, and I float towards it like a sinner rushing into the open arms of death. The day has ended, though I can't tell you how I know it has ended. We gather in a circle and sit with our legs crossed on the cold flooring and tell the stories of how our lives went, as we do every night before we sleep and dream our dreams of death. Toby talks of the gross guy, the one Tamara thinks of as the greaseball who drives the truck and won't wash his nasty rag. He's been hunting folk that pass through for years and years, Toby says. "If you're not like him, he wants you gone. My cousin told me about him, but I just thought it was a rumor, like a creepy pasta. Everybody that lives there knows he's doing it, but as long as it's just strangers who are different, they don't care. He collects their posters like trophies. Anyway, I was spending the end of the summer with my aunt and cousin, and I went for a walk one evening. I was in the woods when I heard some big commotion coming from the road. Gross guy was hanging out by his truck, shooting off his gun, hunting somebody that wandered into his territory. Next thing I know, there were crashing sounds and lights. And then I was here. I sometimes wonder what life would be like if I was still down there. You know, I sometimes wonder what I'm missing." It is Wednesday, and we're on our way to Grandma's house. The kids are no longer in the mood for singing. The gas station has not yet appeared on the horizon, but it will. I feel something, some invisible hand, tugging at me, pulling me towards it. The Christmas songs on the radio are now just whispers in the static, like the songs of ghosts. For a brief moment before we lose radio reception altogether, we pick up a different station, and the speakers flood the car with the sound of Memphis blues.
Train time, I hear the river blues.
Now it is a week earlier. Calvin isn't getting any better. Sure, his foot is on the mend, but that's not the problem. The problem is inside. The problem is emptiness. I look in his eyes and I don't see the man I love anymore. I just see nothing. The doctors are worried that he might try to hurt himself again. They want to put him in a place where he will be safe for a little while. I tell him I agree, that he should be put someplace. He doesn't like that. So he hits me. He hits me, and then he cries. It isn't the first time. These events have happened before, in the exact same order. That night I call my mother and make alternate plans for Thanksgiving. Calvin eventually agrees to stay at a facility for 3 weeks. 3 weeks at least. He might be out for Christmas. I don't think about the father of my children being alone during the holidays, without family, without anyone who loves him, in some facility. I think about how cold and lonely the house we once shared has become. Then I begin to pack up a few things for the long drive. Julie and Heather, the smiling women from the hallway of missing persons, tell us how they met the man in the dirty coveralls. "We were on our way to a concert in Nashville," Heather says. "And we ended up taking the wrong road. I don't know if Julie got mixed up with her directions or if we lost GPS signal, but we ended up on these desolate back roads. That's how we ended up on the road with that creepy gas station. I remember it was called Blue Light Drive." I wonder how many years it's been for Julie and Heather since they came to be in this cage. It's been 2 years for me, and I still remember the name of the road. The creep in the dirty coveralls was standing in the doorway of the fishing shack. You know, where they sell the bait and such? Heather continues. I remember it was raining, and we didn't want to get wet because those gas pumps weren't covered. They were just out in the open. It was our first big outing after the COVID lockdowns, and we didn't want to catch our death. The creep began approaching us as soon as we parked at the pump. Julie sort of instinctively knew that his intentions weren't good, and she locked the doors. And we felt safe for a moment, as if the glass separating us from the world had supernatural power over this man coming up on us with hate in his eyes. And make no mistake, he did hate us. Must have seen the pride sticker on our bumper or something, but somehow he knew that we weren't his kind of people. He walked faster and faster. We didn't even notice the shotgun he was carrying until he tripped. Our stories are all the same, with slight variations. Sometimes the greasy man stumbles and must regain his balance while he chases you. Sometimes he will crash your car. Sometimes he will shoot at you. But the result is the same. He always gets you. And it's always women or children. Often we're gay or brown or something he doesn't approve of. He sees us as a stain on his territory. Heather always ends her story saying, "And then poof, here we are in the land of the missing." We just wanted to go to a concert and feel alive again after so many months of being cooped up inside, Julie says with a pleading note in her voice. Then Lexi says, "We just wanted to get away from the city and reconnect." I tell them that all I wanted was to go home, to be with family again on Thanksgiving. Toby withdraws into the corner. Then Jamal stares at us with his wide, dark eyes. "I'm certain we're not alive anymore," he says. "But in the morning, I'll begin to doubt it." He says these words every night. And every night when he speaks, we all go silent until the artificial dawn, which paints our tiny world in blue. This is the last leg of our journey. It is Wednesday in November, and it is 2 years later, and it is now. I am tripping across oceans of wide open blacktop, and on these country roads I live only to drive. I see the blue half-twilight and a taste of shattered teeth through a cloud of floating broken glass. And gravity has no meaning, and it pulls me into the yawning mouth of death. Tomorrow is missing. Tomorrow is Thanksgiving.
Hi, this is Karyn Raynor, frequent guest narrator and friend of Octoberpod. I am also the co-host of Chicklit Podcast, which I host with my best friend Aubrey, the podcast where we read books we read growing up to see if they still hold up in our adult lives. I am here to wish everyone at Octoberpod, as well as the listeners, a happy Thanksgiving, and also to send a reminder that there's nothing spookier than colonization. I am here to wish everyone at Octoberpod, as well as the listeners, a happy Thanksgiving, and to send out a reminder that there's nothing creepier than green bean casserole.
I'm Edward October. Ask any bold individualist and they'll tell you all you need for the perfect eggnog is to combine egg yolks, beaten until creamy, egg whites, beaten until fluffy, heavy cream, sugar, a generous portion of fresh grated nutmeg, and an even more generous portion of liquor. Most folks use dark rum, but I prefer bourbon. The final two ingredients are essential: a cozy seat by the fire in which to sip it, and a ghost story told as only Octoberpod can tell it. This year, Octoberpod's Christmas gift to you is another spine-chilling classic ghost story from a master of supernatural literature. It drops on December 23rd, the Tuesday before Christmas. Listen to it on Octoberpod AM wherever you get podcasts, or at Octoberpod Home Video on YouTube. Unwind with us by the fire, and we guarantee it will be the crowning pleasure of your hectic holiday season. After all, eggnog without a belt of good hooch is hardly eggnog. And Christmas without an Octoberpod ghost story is hardly Christmas. Octoberpod, Yuletide horror for bold individualists. Octoberpodvhs.com.
I'm Dean, I'm the dad.
I'm Laura, I'm the mom.
And I'm Arthur, I'm the son.
And together we are
Family Plot.
We want to thank Ed at Octoberpod for giving us a moment to speak to all of you.
Here at the Family Plot Podcast, we love this time of year.
a time to share good food and good times with family and friends.
Take time to share, love, and care with those close to you.
And finally, we want to wish everyone
Happy Thanksgiving!
It's intermission time, folks. Time to take that stretch you've been craving. And boy, howdy do I need one. I've been stuck in this car for hours on my way to join Mrs. October and Eddie Jr. at Grandma's house in Pennsylvania. It's the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, the most heavily traveled day of the year, and traffic is a bear. I'm not sure why we haven't come up with a cute name for this Wednesday, like we've done with Black Friday. Gridlock Wednesday, perhaps. Grind Wednesday? Ooh, I know. Crash Wednesday. Put your own ideas in the comments. Speaking of crashes, a truck has jackknifed just ahead of me and caused a 5 or 6 car pileup. The truck is from McDougall's Museum of Macabre Curios and Antiquities. And wouldn't you know it, it was filled with ancient Egyptian sarcophagi that was spilled out all over the highway. Let me just roll up the windows, lock the doors, and tuck in with some tales of Thanksgiving catastrophes. Our first tale was submitted by Reddit user Doro Girl, spelled with 2 O's, 3 R's, and 0 I's. We used to host 20-plus friends and family who would show up throughout the day. Several friends had arrived in the late morning, and we had a Bloody Mary bar. People were in and out of the kitchen. There were several dogs running around. It was chaos already. A friend went to open a window, but in my old house, the weights were off kilter, and the window slammed onto her fingers. Brother-in-law and sister-in-law arrived with their dogs, which set off the dogs already here. My friend's fingers were stuck in the window. My partner ran onto the porch to lift up the window from the other side. Another friend filled a bowl with ice and grabbed a bottle of whiskey. My friend with the crushed fingers was ushered to the back porch. When my partner came inside, he had blood on his face. Now, the kitchen is filled with smoke, dogs are barking, and I'm asking how many fingers my friend lost. My brother-in-law and sister-in-law walk in like they've just entered a crime scene. I went out to the back porch to see if I could call 911. My friend was drinking whiskey shots with her good hand, while her injured hand soaked in a bowl of ice water. No fingers lost. The whiskey bottle was passed around to dull the trauma of the previous 5 minutes. By the time the rest of the guests arrived, none of us could feel our hands. We never did the Bloody Mary bar again. Reddit user Achio Queso writes, "My first Thanksgiving being able to sit at the table and properly eat with the family, I was 2 or 3 years old. I fell over a chair and nearly bit my own tongue off. I bled all over my dad's new white polo and ruined it. Story goes that the doctor told my parents there was not much they could do, and if my tongue started to smell funky, just go to the hospital. I still have the scars on the underside of my tongue from when it happened. I've also seen the picture of my dad looking like a serial killer in his new white shirt." Here's one from Reddit user Ski Dino, or is it Ski Dino? "The plumbing went haywire with water shooting out of the toilets. A very nice plumber came out on Thanksgiving Day and found the blockage. It was a condom. For a variety of reasons, it can't be anyone who's here visiting, and my house has been empty all summer as my father's been quite ill. So we're all sitting around at Thanksgiving trying to figure out who was using this house as a secret sex den and was also stupid enough to flush condoms down the toilet." Reddit user ARox313 writes, "My sister frequently has, quote, emergencies or, quote, meetings pop up that require her 10-month-old twins to need supervision by someone else. Well, she took off for hours on Thanksgiving and then went radio silent. We had some family come in from out of town who are staying with our parents. She's always at my parents' house since my mom is her babysitter of choice and a huge enabler. As soon as the out-of-town guests arrived, she needed to run to her house to, quote, shower, and asked my cousin to watch the babies while she was gone. She was allegedly planning to come right back. This was around noon. I got there at 2:30 with my family. We all planned to eat at 3. My sister was not there, and my cousin was watching the twins, who were sick and looked tired. I had just received a text from my sis saying she would be there soon and had just hopped in the shower and asked that we hold off on praying over the meal till she got there. Okay. That was the last time she answered her phone before she got back. She wasn't back until 5-ish. We ate without her at 3:45. She was genuinely surprised we started eating without her. Okay, here's our first creepy uncle appearance, courtesy of Reddit user Freakout Intro. My uncle announces at the Thanksgiving table that he's trying to get him and my aunt, who is in very poor health, to move to Thailand for health care. Although we all know he wants to go there just to f*** Asian women. He's a horrible person. Red Queen Hypo writes, my mom's friend, who I can't stand, tells us over Thanksgiving dinner that her sheepadoodle went through an existential crisis over not being human, and so had to be put on Prozac. I am not allowed to point out the absolute stupidity of this statement. Oh, looks like I need to call up a friend of the show, Nikki Young, the serial napper herself, to help us out with this next one.
Reddit user I am not a Canada Goose, like the rest of Canadians, celebrated Thanksgiving back in October. They write, we hosted. My family lives across the country, so it was all of my husband's family. But he had to work the days leading up to it, and I had some off, so really, I hosted. I did all of the cooking, from the turkey to the sides to dessert. Everyone else had to travel, and if I'm truthful, I questioned some of their food safety and hygiene, so I was happy to cook. Things were dandy until I pulled the turkey out of the oven for it to rest. I rested it and moved on to getting other things ready, and then my stupid brother-in-law barged into the kitchen. He announces he's ready to carve the turkey. I was like, WTF? Not only is it not ready, but I'll be doing the carving as I'm the one who did the cooking, and I'm better at it anyway. Husband agrees. I'm the barbecue master in this family. Husband likes eating. I love cooking. We are a happy match. Fucking asshole brother-in-law argues that carving the turkey is the job of the head of the family. And now that our father-in-law has passed, it's his role as the husband of the oldest child. I told him to get bent and get out of my kitchen. He grabs my best knife, produces one of those wheeled sharpeners out of I don't know where, and moves to begin to desecrate the blade. I grabbed my second best knife and said I'd stab him in the hand if he proceeds. My husband realized I might not be kidding and said something about, it's my house, I'm the man here, and diffused the situation. Of course, I carved the turkey. The meal was amazing. But my selfish, badass sister-in-law and her sexist, useless husband, they were pissed. Almost mad enough to get up and leave, but apparently free food wins over their egos. They've spent the time since complaining about how I'm out of my place and how hurt brother-in-law is that I won't recognize him as head of the family, because he's not. So, now with Christmas coming up, my sister-in-law doesn't even want us invited. I'm rude and uppity. Joke's on them. I hate traveling at Christmas, and they're never welcome back here. Due to the other times they visited, they're just fat, lazy, ignorant mooches.
Thanks, Nikki. You hear that? They're honking because the mummies are rising from their sarcophagi and starting to wreak havoc among the stranded motorists. Looks like I won't be moving anytime soon, so here's some more Thanksgiving stories. Reddit user ElizPar, or is that Eli Z. Parr, writes, at 1:45 on Thanksgiving Day, Dad's wife's son admits he put a location tracking device on his girlfriend's car. Also learned he spent a year in prison for car theft in his 20s, but didn't do it. 2:15, Dad's wife calls her estranged son on speakerphone from living room, hoping to get in touch, with all of us listening awkwardly. 3:30, fight between Dad and wife over the gravy and why there wasn't more chicken broth. 4 o'clock, dinner table surprise discovery that Dad has left estranged son out of the will with a notarized document. Declaration of present son to mother that the son doesn't love her anymore and she should forget about him. 4:45. Dad cleaned up the table after Thanksgiving meal, forgetting that we haven't had dessert yet. Wife throws a complete swearing tantrum. Awkward silence. I decide to leave a day and a half early and drive back home, 3.5 hours away, on Thanksgiving night. MC Such and Such has another story for us. This one involving a creepy cousin and a mortician. My daughter-in-law threatening to stab my idiot-ass cousin if he tries to hug her again at Thanksgiving, and then actually picking up a butcher knife off the counter, sticking it in his face, and very loudly saying, I ain't playing, motherfucker. I'll stab you right now and embalm you at work next week. Then he laughed and actually tried to hug her again. Quick backstory. My daughter is a lesbian and married to another woman, obviously, and my cousin has had a thing for Kimmy, my daughter-in-law, since he first met her when my daughter and Kimmy started dating. As a matter of fact, there actually was one point in time where my cousin actually tried to talk Kimmy into leaving my daughter and trying things with him. Kimmy's despised him ever since, and truth be told, my daughter's never been too fond of him at all, but tolerates him because he's family. At any rate, when we heard Kimmy say that, a few of us, me, my daughter, and my younger brother, went into the kitchen and asked what the problem was. Kimmy told us what had happened, and my younger brother looked at our cousin and said, so, is what she's saying true? My cousin, again, idiot, just blurted out, Jesus, man, it's just a hug. It's not like I'm trying to cop a feel or something. I don't know what her issue is. At which point, my daughter said, the issue is that Kimmy doesn't like you at all. You have tried to cop a feel in the past on several occasions. You tried to talk her into leaving me to date you. You've made comments on several occasions about how both me and her are in a phase of some kind, and she just needs to find the right man, even though we've been together longer than any relationship you've ever been in that didn't involve some kind of pipe. And to put it bluntly, you honestly just creep her the fuck out, which is mind-blowing since she makes a living as a fucking mortician. There was a weird and awkward silence for a few seconds, and then my cousin was like, that pipe comment was fucking low, even for you. I don't need this shit. And left. After he left, Kimmy apologized, unnecessarily, for causing a problem. We told her not to worry about it. Went back to the table, finished dinner, continued having a great night. I don't think we're going to top that. The sun is just now setting and these mummies aren't letting up anytime soon. I may have to Google and then recite the incantation from the ancient Egyptian scroll of death before this traffic is ever going to move. Because I got to tell you, I am sick and tired of these motherfucking mummies on this motherfucking highway. While I'm doing that, let's get you settled in for Act 2 of Octoberpod, an encore presentation of the tale that helped us get our first of 3 Rondo Award nominations. Amy Koto's Thanksgiving Road Trip. Until next time, from all of us here at Octoberpod, have a happy Thanksgiving. And remember to stay spooky, mes amis. Thanksgiving Road Trip, written for Octoberpod by Amy Koto, starring Jennifer, host of Haunted Happenstance. Act 1, Interior, University Classroom, Day. Additional players, Emma, the True Crime Witch. Rin Lavond, co-host, Two Scared Siblings.
Forget to turn those essays in before you leave. Strunk and White are your friends, ladies and gentlemen. And one more thing. I know everyone is ready to begin their Thanksgiving break, but try and stay off the roads today and tonight. I want to see you all back in one piece after the break. Right? That's it. You can go.
Gee, thanks for the warning, Professor Avery. About the driving, I mean.
I'm glad you paid attention. There'll be a lot of crazies on the road tonight. I hope that you'll stay inside.
No such luck there. I'm traveling upstate to visit my folks, but I'm leaving now. Promise. It won't even be dark yet. And I'll drive the speed limit and look out for flashing high beams.
High flashing beams may, in fact, warn you about danger on the road ahead. But if you are already breaking the law, it'll come back to haunt you.
No, I meant like that old urban legend. You know, the girl is driving and there's a killer hiding in her back seat. And there's another driver who keeps flashing his high beams at her and she thinks he's the threat, but he's, just trying to warn her.
Ah, I see. You're sounding more and more like a psych major every day.
You mean an English/psychology double major with a concentration in organizational communication.
Yeah, that. Anyway, I'm not sure that urban legends are still relevant in today's world. Still, if an old wives' tale will keep you off the road.
It won't, but your point is well taken. Have a great Thanksgiving, Professor Avery.
Wait, hold on a second.
Professor Avery, give me back my phone.
You see that? Your battery's low. I bet it'll be drained after listening to just a single podcast, and you'd be wise not to leave until it's fully charged. Here you are.
Understood, Professor. Thanks. See you next week.
Goodbye, Julia.
Interior, car. Exterior, the road. Minutes quickly turned into hours as Julia headed out on the main highway. She was making good time, but endless traffic began to take its toll. The drive took much longer than she anticipated. The last remnants of the sunlight soon faded, swallowed up by the dark gray twilight, until it overtook it completely. And then, just as night fell, she pulled off onto a little-known back road that she'd read about on a travel blog.
Finally, I thought I'd never be out of that traffic.
Julia examined the hood of the car, saw the charcoal clouds exhaling from it, and realized, to her dismay, that this was no simple flat tire. She glanced down at her cell phone, but the signal was fading. She stared back at the open road. No headlights appeared. She was alone with over an hour of driving ahead, but all she could see was the eternal darkness spilling out in front of her.
Just put in a call to roadside assistance, Julia. Just call them while you have a little bit of signal and wait. Somebody will come. Someone always comes.
Thank you for calling Roadside Assistance. Our menu options have changed, so please listen carefully. For assistance in English, press 1. Pour enseigner l'aide en français, appuyez sur 2.
Julia managed to dispatch a tow truck to her location. However, she was warned there'd be a long wait due to an unusual amount of traffic incidents.
Pull over to a safe location while you wait. Hang up and dial 911 if you are in immediate danger. A technician will be there to assist you as soon as possible. Goodbye.
Act 2. Exterior, the road. Interior, truck. Additional players, MJ McAdams, creator-host of Humble Hauntings podcast, and Jen, co-host of Our True Crime podcast. After about 30 minutes, fading headlights appeared in the distance. Julia's teeth were chattering as she stepped out of her car to get a better look. A pickup truck appeared at the edge of the road, flashing its high beams at her repeatedly. Normally, she would have been relieved, thinking that someone had come along to help. But those high beams reminded her too much of that urban legend. Julia shielded her eyes and got back in the car, locking the doors on instinct. She stared in her rearview mirror as terror edged its way back under her skin. The high beams lit up behind her with a disorienting strobe effect. Julia's escalated heartbeat continued to clang against her chest. She stared straight ahead, but curiosity forced her eyes to dart from side to side just to get a better look. A woman in her early 30s stared back at her. She rolled down the window and pointed at Julia to do likewise. Julia frantically rolled down her window and poked her head out.
You lost, little lady?
No, I'm fine. I'm just waiting for a tow. Thanks all the same.
There's not too many cars that come down this way. You want me to take a look? I'm a mechanic, you know. I know I don't look it.
Something about this motorist gave Julia the willies, something she couldn't quite place. The thought of accepting help from this particular stranger raised red flags.
No, really, I'm fine. Thanks for stopping by, though. I'll be all right until roadside assistance gets here.
Well, how about I wait with you? You shouldn't be out here all alone on the side of the road.
Julia forced a smile, but doubt clung to her. She didn't want to be alone out here, but there was still something she couldn't put her finger on. Something odd.
Whoa! Don't you see those fumes puking out from your hood? Get out of the car! My God, you're not safe in there. You really done a number on that engine, miss. I hope you brought cranberries because this turkey is done. We shouldn't be anywhere near here right now. What do? Hit a deer? I clipped an adolescent buck with my truck about 6 weeks ago. I could have totaled it, but I swerved and got away with just a crack in the windshield. You know, there's a gas station about 2 miles up the road. The least I can do is drive you to it. I don't bite. Honest, I don't.
Well, I suppose since it's only a couple miles.
Sorry I didn't introduce myself earlier. I'm Jay.
Julia.
Pleased to meet you. Let's get you somewhere safe now, little lady.
Taped to the windshield, next to a long, jagged crack, Julia caught sight of a photograph. In it, Jay is standing next to a handsome young woman with an adorable little boy cuddled up next to her.
What a beautiful family. I apologize if I came off rude before, but
But you can never be too careful. I took no offense. I wouldn't want one of my loved ones getting into a stranger's car either. Not everyone has the best of intentions, but sometimes you gotta take a leap of faith.
Still no service. I swear it seems to come and go whenever I even try to use it. I was able to call roadside assistance, but haven't been able to call or text anyone else. I hope there's a payphone or a landline at the gas station.
Guess you picked the wrong place to break down. And on the day before Thanksgiving, no less. Most travel day of the year. You on your way to Grandma's house for the big dinner?
Yeah, something like that.
Warm cherry pie would taste good and proper right about now. You want to stop for a bite?
No thanks, I just want to get to a phone.
Suit yourself. Just thought you might want to show me a little hospitality. That is, if you're not going to invite me to your big, fancy Thanksgiving dinner.
Warning bells rang in Julia's head as she slowly moved her hand toward the door handle, waiting for the truck to slow down. Julia gripped the door and began unbuckling her seatbelt as silently as possible.
And in other news, police are looking for a person of interest in a string of abduction murders that have been taking place over the last 6 weeks. The suspect was last spotted driving a late-model black pickup truck with a cracked windshield by Highway 107. If you spot a black pickup truck matching our description, please call 911 immediately.
Hey, you could have cracked my skull against the windshield. Did you really crack it by hitting a deer?
Trying to get out, I see. Child safety lock. We can't have you going anywhere and getting yourself in trouble, can we, little lady?
You're not going to get away with this. This is the day before Thanksgiving, the most traveled day of the year. There are more cops out now than any other day of the year.
Have you seen any? Don't you get it, little one? You're mine now.
No!
Adrenaline rushed through Julia as she ran through a million possibilities in her head. None of them ended well. She was trapped and at a disadvantage, but she knew that she could still outmatch her opponent, not with strength, but with her mind. Julia knew that she could play on Jay's desires.
I think I understand you, more than you could ever even know. I know what it's like to be an outsider. You think my family understands me? I thought about running away 1,000,000 times. They'll never know me. Not really. I'm so alien to them. Maybe that's why I'm on the road by myself. Maybe there's a part of me hoping I'll run into another lonely traveler. Someone who would just get it. And then you showed up. I saw that picture on the windshield, the one over the crack. That's a beautiful family. You've always wanted to have a family of your own, haven't you? But it's hard because you're different. Society won't allow someone like you to have a beautiful family. That woman in the picture, she's gorgeous. But that picture is a lie, isn't it? Do you stage photos like that for all of the women you abduct?
You got me all figured out, do you? Is that what you think this photograph is about? You're in for a bit of a surprise. You'll be meeting him soon. Just you wait.
They drove for what seemed like hours, but was perhaps only a few minutes, down roads Julia didn't recognize, and dust kicked up and swirled like fog in the bouncing beams of the truck's headlights. At one point, they passed another motorist. Julia lunged to the driver's side to flick the high beams and honk the horn. Jay shoved her back against the passenger door with a startling display of brute force. As Julia craned her neck to see if the other car would stop, Jay slammed on the brakes, just as before. This time, Julia's head took a nasty crack on the dashboard, knocking her out cold. Act 3. Interior, farmhouse, night. Additional players: Canadian Girl, host Nothing Ever Happens in Canada, and Andrea Lavond, co-host Two Scared Siblings podcast.
Now is it Thanksgiving, Mother?
Yes. Our Thanksgiving always starts at 12 a.m. Are you done with your turkey?
Yep, the feathers came out a little pointy because of tracing my fingers, but it's a turkey all right. What do you think?
It's very nice. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely. Anybody got a magnet? We should hang it on the fridge.
Julia opened her eyes. She was in the dining room of what looked like a charming old farmhouse until she noticed the windows were either painted black or covered with tin foil. Jay was standing nearby, speaking to a woman in a comical sweater, decorated with turkeys and pumpkins. The boy she'd heard speaking was with them, wearing a homemade pilgrim costume. Julia felt cold and slowly came to the realization that she was lying naked on a wooden table, covered with a blanket of leaves that smelled of parsley. She struggled to get up, but her muscles wouldn't respond.
Hey, looks like the guest of honor has decided to join us. Wakey, wakey, little ladybird.
What the hell?
There's no use struggling, darling. Your head might be awake, but the rest of you won't thaw out for quite a while. That's all thanks to a little cocktail I cooked up with my own secret recipe.
I don't understand.
Isn't she rude? We're so happy to welcome you into our home. I trust you're very comfortable?
You're the woman from the picture, and the little boy?
Where are my manners? Julia, this is my sister Persephone, and this little spooker here is my nephew Angus. She thought we were a couple. You see, we are different. Just not in the way you thought.
Your teeth. Fangs.
Mine's just growed in. This is the first year I don't gotta eat at the kids' table with a sippy cup.
Are we about ready to do this, folks?
Yeah, sure. We're just waiting on the good doctor.
Well, go get her. I'm starved.
Julia could scarcely believe her predicament. Was this a dream? Surely she'd dozed off in class and would wake up any moment now and jump in her car to go home. Home to family, to warm hearths and cheer, to be surrounded by loved ones. But no. Something in her heart told her this was no dream. This was a waking nightmare. And then...
Julia, how delightful to see you again. You know, I warned you not to travel tonight of all nights. But I see you made it to your Thanksgiving dinner table anyway. Perhaps not quite in the manner that you expected.
Doesn't she look great? Dressed up with parsley and all the fixins.
Good enough to eat.
Angus, have some table manners.
I don't understand. How did you follow me?
I couldn't believe the sudden stroke of luck when you, the little one that I've had my eye on for so long, told me you were heading upstate. Why, you'd be travelling right past our little family gathering. Well, our non-traditional little family, such as it is.
I'd argue we're quite traditional here. Jay's agreed to say the blessing, and she chose one that's been in the family for 138 years.
You'll never get away with this. When the tow truck finds my car, when my family starts to miss me, they'll send someone. Somebody will come and lock up every last godless one of you.
Perhaps they'll find a way to track your cell phone to our location. I am afraid, my dear, that your phone has always been powered down since the moment you left my classroom.
I don't understand. That's impossible. I made a call to roadside assistance. I spoke to an operator. They sent a technician and everything.
You only thought you did. It's amazing what sorts of glamours and enhancements you can perform with blood and some good old world magic. Just a tiny drop of my little concoction applied to your cell phone was enough to cloud your mind into thinking that your car had broken down and that you'd been able to use your phone normally.
We lured you to the exact spot where I found you. Now you see, you've been mine this whole time, little lady.
Hours. You mean?
But the radio, the news broadcasts all those abduction murders?
Oh, those were real enough. Somebody's got to provide for this family. Promise you won't go blabbing to the police?
Julia was helpless to do anything but stare in amazement as this family sat around the table for their midnight Thanksgiving dinner, chatting pleasantly as they unfolded napkins, as any other family would do just before the big meal.
Mother, can't I stay up late and watch the parade on TV? I could bring my laptop down to the cellar with me and stream it.
I don't know. That would have you up way past your bedtime, and it's supposed to be awfully sunny in the morning.
Right. Time for the blessing. Jay, I understand you've prepared a reading for us?
O ye great demons of hell, we thank thee for the blood which is life, and remember times when we were thirsty. We thank thee for the joys of undeath, and remember the despair of unlife. We thank thee for the blood in family, and remember those who possesseth only family by birth. We thank thee for the freedom of the great black void, and remember those enslaved within the cages of meat. May these remembrances stir to serve thee, that thy gifts to us may be everlasting. So be it.
So be it.
Right. Now we can have a very gay little supper, and since it's little Angus's first Thanksgiving with all of his permanent fangs, I think it's only fitting that he gets the first serving.
Finally.
Hey, save the neck for me, kid. Why don't you start on a drumstick?
The boy drank from an artery in Julia's drumstick before the others began their meal. It was only painful at first. The worst part was the coldness that seeped deeper into her bones as the blood spilled from her like warm gravy. Jay, of course, saved the neck for last, which she tucked into greedily. As Jay supped her life's blood, Julia's eyes glazed over, lost and innocent. But soon, all expression was replaced with cold, hollow darkness.
You lied to me, Jay. You told me you wouldn't bite.
Shun that house in New Orleans.
You have been listening to the Rondo Award-nominated audio drama, Thanksgiving Road Trip, written especially for Octoberpod by Amy Koto.
Sind zurück mit
Hello there, bold individualists. This is Whitney Zahar, new contributor of Octoberpod and author of The Safe Room and Nova and a bunch of short stories. I'm also a gamer, and you can find me on Pantsless Tables, House of Dreams, The Starfield, and Halfling Wizard Productions. I'm here to wish all of you the happiest Thanksgiving possible with the ones that you love the most. And honestly, that's what the holidays and any time of year should be all about. So, if you'll excuse me, I am going to enjoy good food and drink with my family and friends, then take a tryptophan-fueled nap where I will dream of rolling dice, writing more stories, and watching the Westminster Dog Show. Bye, everyone. Happy Thanksgiving.
Stick around after the credits for a brief word from some of our fellow indie podcasters, creators, and friends. There may even be some bloopers, outtakes, and bonus content as well. You have been listening to Octoberpod. Octoberpod is produced, edited, and directed by Edward October. The series co-producers are M.J. McAdams and Amber Jourdan. Logo and banner graphics by Jessica Good. Edward October character design by Nick Calavera. Select still photography courtesy of Unsplash.com. Select music cues by Dr. Dreamchip and various other stock music and sound effects courtesy of freesound.org. Music from Bigfoot Apocalypse and Thorax, theme from Octoberpod, composed by Nico Vitezi. All other images, music, and FX cues, except where noted, are sourced from within the public domain. Follow us on YouTube at Octoberpod Home Video, on Instagram, and the app I still call Twitter at Octoberpod VHS, and on TikTok and Blue Sky at Octoberpod. Or find us and all of our links on the World Wide Web at octoberpodvhs.com. For business inquiries or story submissions, email octoberpod@gmail.com. If you enjoyed this program, we'd be very pleased if you told your friends about us. And while you're at it, write us a 5-star or equivalent review wherever you're listening. The man who spoke to you was Mr. Edward October. Hey, you. Yes, you. Are you looking for a new podcast that appeals to your scientific curiosity, but is also a little bit spooky?
Show me how I died in a past life.
Well, look no further, because this cat is where it's at.
He had concerns about the ethics surrounding AI, feeling they had achieved consciousness.
Curious Cat Podcast examines the shadowy space where science and the supernatural collide. Listen every week with your host, Jennifer Holtz, as she and her guests explore what it means to be a soul in a meat suit.
We were healing karma together. They were all kind of predestined to resolve something.
Listen on all your favorite streaming apps and continue the conversation on Twitter at CuriousCatPodCA, or find Jennifer and all her links at Jennifer L. Holtz, spelled HOTES.com.
In the heartland of America, where the Great Plains stretch far and wide, lies a region shrouded in mystery, where the unsolved and the unknown linger. Welcome to Cold Case Kansas, the true crime podcast that delves into the unsolved cases across Kansas and its surrounding states. This podcast was born out of a personal quest for justice. My friend Krista Martin's 34-year-old unsolved case was finally cracked, and in it we found answers. Now we want to help others. We'll explore the crimes that have haunted communities for decades, searching for answers and seeking justice. Join me on this journey as we shed light on the cold cases that have gone unsolved for far too long. Cold Case Kansas, seeking justice one case at a time. You can find us wherever you stream podcasts. You can also find us on TikTok, Threads, Facebook, Instagram. If it's social media, you can find us there.
Welcome to Shatsunami, a variety podcast that discusses topics from gaming and films to anime and general interests.
Previously on Shatsunami, we've analysed what makes a good horror game, conducted a retrospective on Pierce Brosnan's run as James Bond, and listened to us take deep dives into both the Sonic and Halo franchises.
Also, if you're an anime fan, then don't forget to check us out on our sub-series, Chatsunani, where we dive into the world of anime. So far, we've reviewed things like Death Note, Princess Mononoke, and the hit Beyblade series.
If that's sounds like your cup of tea, then you can check us out on Spotify, iTunes, and all good podcast apps.
As always, stay safe,
stay awesome, and most importantly,
stay hydrated.
I'm gonna go for it. Thanksgiving Death Trap wraparound. Death Trip. This is the start of Octoberpod. It's a little strange, isn't it?
Hi, this is Amber Jourdan. I really don't like the way it sounds when I say hi. Okay. You can keep the hi, this is Amber Jourdan, or...
So all the fucking planes from Dulles Airport are launching at the same time. And since I'm supposed to be stuck in Thanksgiving traffic, I'm just gonna fuck it and do it live.
Hi! No. Fuck, hold on. No.
Dodge Caravan, SUV, extended cab, or fuck my fucking fuck face. Yes, it seems like everyone and their mother has loaded up in the family station wagon. Fuck me. Fuckity fuck.
Well, guess what, my friends? Thanksgiving is at the end of this month. It's at the end of this month, so be prepared. I'm not sure exactly when you'll hear these words, but happy fending for the holidays, my friends.
And I guess this is scene 56.
Here is some stuff to utilize for the Octoberpod Thanksgiving extravaganza. Please, I'm sure you're not calling it that, but that's kind of cute, right?
I ain't playing, motherfucker. I'll stab you right here, right now, and embalm you at work next week. I ain't playing. Let me start that again.
It gives them the ick, and I can't even find fault with people that feel like that. I understand, but a good way to still celebrate Thanksgiving, even without honoring the fable of the Pilgrims and the Indians, is with Friendsgiving or with providing food to those in need.
I mean, I should just leave this fucking shit in. Like, this is just, okay, the mummies are taking over the highway and the shit's going down.
You know, the thing for me is feasting. Feasting. That is what Thanksgiving is all about.
The mummies are upsetting the local buffalo population. Whatever.
Terrifying traditions. Or terrifying travels and traditions. I'm going to say that again. The Pilgrims did much more pillaging than pilgriming, and a lot of people don't think that there's much to celebrate there. Now, one way that you can celebrate Thanksgiving, really, fuckers? I'm sorry, my dogs. Are you fucking kidding me?
What the fuck is this noise? My computer just fucking simultaneously decides to vent toxic gas. What the fuckity fuck? Are you done, fuckface?
But, you know, if however you choose to celebrate, that is. I'm sure you'll have plenty of pumpkins. Ta-ta for now. Farewell, Auf Wiedersehen. I don't remember the dang song. I was gonna do the thing, like, farewell, Auf Wiedersehen, goodbye. Please cut this. Goodbye.
Like, that's it.